Hello everyone, and welcome to So Many Games So Little Time. My name is Joachim, as usual, and today, once again, we're going to do a Kickstarter update. Now, there are many games. I've already forgotten how many, but I suggest we get started right away because there's a ton. It is past midnight, so I was able to grab some that were just released, and also at the end of this video, I will also talk about which ones I have backed from last time. Will I eventually back them? That's another question, but we'll get to that later. Okay, so let's take a look at the new batch, shall we? Okay, first one here is Pit Formula, frenetic board game about pit stop and math. Now, when I first looked at it and I saw the art, I was like, meh, it doesn't look that interesting. At this point, it's just been activated, okay? This is the first day. Only like a couple of hours ago. It has a third of the goal already. It should be in USD, I guess. No, Canadian dollars. They need 6,000. They're at 1,600. So a fourth then, I guess. Anyway, here in this game, you are not driving a car. Actually, you're the pit crew. So you do see, however, on the right side, you do have the track. Those are basically the victory points. But what's cool about this is you are a pit crew and you're doing math. Now, I am not a fan of math. I was never good at math. I mean, I can do the head stuff and everything. That's fine. You know, making the calculations in my head is fine. It's just all the extra stuff that I was never good at. But in this case, all you need to do is subtraction, addition, multiplication, and intervals. That's the only thing you need to do. So how does it work exactly? Let's see if I can show you a better shot of this game. Basically, you're going to have your... I don't know why it's all black, by the way. I guess it didn't load the videos. But there's other videos to watch as well. I'm looking for a picture. I guess I'm gonna have to go back to the top one to show you, even though it's quite small. But anyway, you have your car here, and there's gonna be cards face down. You know, here to see all the numbers. Normally they should be face down, and you will draw some kind of an event card that happens, like a problem basically, and it'll say which components you have to fix. So it might be like 2 tires or a tire in the engine, or and so on. So what you'll do is you'll flip it over and it will tell you how to fix it. For example, you see the yellow 2 and 6. If I'm not mistaken, with the tires, it's always either you add or you subtract. So in this case, you have to look for, with the 2 and 6, you have to either look for 8, you have to look for 4. And those you find in these grids in the middle. And all these tires have, not just tires, but all these parts also have colors. So you know if it's a tire, you need to have a yellow tire. Of course, all the tires are yellow. But you need to have the 8 or the 4. So you need to first do the calculation in your head and then get the tiles. But of course, somebody else has taken the 8, you want to go for the 4 and stuff like that. So, and if you're in the lead, you might have something extra to do, you know, to make sure that everything keeps is nicely balanced, I guess. So yeah, I watched some of the videos. Let me see if I can just reload it. Maybe that'll bring back the pictures, because it looks kind of silly right now with all the black stuff. Yeah, so now the pictures are back. It is really cool, actually, because, like, for example, the wing cards, you can see they have higher numbers, 55, for example. The gas cards and engine cards have different types. But yeah, I watched the videos. It looked really nice. It looks cool, fun for my kids, but also for adults, I think. Yeah, so that's this, actually. This is this game. You can see I already pledged it for mechanic. It's quite cheap as well. Does it say anything about shipping? Here's shipping. So for me, Hong Kong, it's the lowest, so always good. And for other places, of course, you can get a bit pricey. If you know it's $50, then Brazil, for example, would basically double the price, more than double. So you can kind of compare whether or not how much the shipping is worth it to you. Even the rest of Europe is 32 and the game itself is 50. Up to you guys, but it looks cool. All right, that one is done. Okay, the next one is Paper Railroad, and you can see from Hong Kong. It's a $1 roll and write printed home board game for 1 to 99 players, so $1. They've already collected $380 and they want $2,000. 11 backers already, so you can see the cost is low. So for example, I thought I selected it already at $40. Here you go. So those are two options, $40 and $10. Now let me quickly reload this page because it should say that I backed already. There you go. So 9 backers already did that. So what you're getting is all these different, well, you see the top sheet is the color one, and then you also have a low ink version, which changes the rules a little bit. And on the back of these are the rules. So yeah, basically you back it, and then he or she or whoever does the campaign will send you the prints, and then you print it, and then you play. All you need is 3 dice. That's it. And something to write. That's it. So basically, what is it about? Basically, you have a station, a train station, and you need to do certain things. Right? You roll the dice, and then you can use those numbers to do multiple things. One of them is, of course, creating a railroad where your train can ride, but you can also get stuff from the farmers market, which you can help to then create rewards later on. And there's also a lottery where I think that you can eventually, if you have the correct combination, get a lot of points. Yeah, so like I said, double-sided rules. There's a solo mode, but in solo mode it's more important to complete orders, and which is not the case in the regular game. So it's 1 to 4. So you can see the low ink version. Always nice to have that option as well. And there's even a card variant, but they will share that after the campaign. Yeah, so give it a check. Looks nice, cheap, no shipping, always good. Okay, so next up we have Mr. Meeple Board Game T-Shirts 5th anniversary. I have never bought T-shirts from Mr. Meeple. I have bought T-shirts on Etsy, but in general I'm always disappointed because it tends to fray really quickly. But these look really nice. Okay, there's a lot of them that all have to do with board games, obviously. So yeah, if this is something that really interests you, then check it out. Okay, there's a lot of them, like the Ghost here is kind of cool, the Ghost Meeple, dogs playing board games and so on. There's a ton of them there. I don't know about the shipping. I'd never checked that, to be honest. Besides the shipping here, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, even 10 T-shirts. Shipping is kind of low for 10 T-shirts because I guess it weighs quite a bit, so that's kind of cool. For me, it is not cool because I guess I have the highest, isn't it? Yeah, basically the more I order, the higher it is. But one T-shirt is just €6 for everyone. Oh yeah, maybe this time will be the time that I actually buy something. And you have other stuff as well, like scarf, fridge magnets, pillows, dice trays, bow ties, everything. Alright, next is the 1985 Games presents Sharp Edge VHS dice. So what is this? It's not a game, it's just dice. But I like dice. I never back them because they're too expensive, but I just like dice. And you can see it looks cool. And also the wrapping, the box, it's all like VHS, like this one. You have this one here. Just takes me back, when we used to tape stuff from the TV and everything. And the dice themselves also look very nice as well. So if it interests you, check it out. It'll definitely look good on the shelf, and you can see they're nicely stored as well. And they say here, which is kind of funny, if you've gotten to this point and are wondering what a VHS box has to do with resin dice, you'll want to read this next part. Nothing at all. It's just the box they come in, which I thought was nice. And there's also some T-shirts, whatever. Shipping, however, I didn't see anything about that. Here, estimated shipping. Everyone else, so for me, it's going to be way, as I said, as usual, it's way too expensive, but the USA, looks cool. Kingdoms Rise and Fall Dorian. This is the first one that I'm super excited by. Actually, the first one as well. What was it again? The pit game here. Pit formula. I like that one too. Okay, this one. Dorian is really cool. It has 28 days to go, but I can assure you it's going to reach its goal and then some, I think, once people hear about it. So what is this? You can see the whole area here. Basically, it's Cosmic Encounter. And if you don't know what Cosmic Encounter is, it's a space game where everybody is an alien race with crazy powers, and then you basically attack each other, and when you attack someone, people can join your attack, and other people can join the defender, and so on, so on, so on. Well, with this game, it has that same mechanic. as I can go and siege a city, and people, no matter where they are on the map, can join in and help defeat that city, or they can join the defenders and try to defeat me. And all of that has to do with the points that you can get, because if you have a certain amount of points, you win the game. So of course, it might be a TI4 thing that in the beginning people help each other to get some points until somebody looks like they're winning, and then it's going to be like, whoa, 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 back up. And not only that, it's also a deck builder, because you can see here there's a bunch of decks here and the bottom here as well. There's a lot of decks. Every character has their own personal deck, and every game is different as well with the cards that come out, and it's the cards that you play while you're attacking. So you can see there's a lot of quotes here. I'll leave that up to you to read if it sounds interesting, but you can see it here: a strategic deck building game. You choose a unique character and battle for rulership for Dorian. You need the influence points to get, and even the session length is adjustable. You can go from 1.5 hours up to 8 hours or longer. It depends on how many kingdom cards you use. And there's different deck of battle cards. You can use stealth, physical, magic decks, a lot of different variations, different pledges as well, because this one here is an expansion and stretch goals, of course. You can also choose to have miniatures instead of just standees. I should just say instead of standees, not just because standees used to be really cool, and then miniatures came, and then miniatures became really cool, and now people are like, too many miniatures, give me standees. So I think they're like even again, but that's just me. So you can see here the decks: kingdom events, objective cards, treasure, battle, starter deck cards, resource cards, upgrade cards, defense cards, a lot of stuff, the resources here that you can gather as well. The expansion I think adds another player, and also an NPC system, so you can actually add up to 2 NPCs in your game, which is really good if you don't, especially now. But then by the time it comes out, well, that's will be a problem, but still I'll still be using it for sure. Yeah, then some focuses on the guys, and also these cards, you can fill these up when you win battles and so on. And start of your turn, you also draw 5 cards, which will already allow you to do stuff on your turn, which will be going around, getting trading, buying from the market, attacking, stuff like that. All right, you can see the art is pretty nice. Here are different powers. You have stealth that give you certain things to do. For example, you may choose a player you battle. That player will get -2 or -2 red, which is physical, or -2 magic, I guess. Yeah. So all these affect the fight you're doing. So physical cards. What is here? This card gets -8 while defending. Okay, but it has 8. Okay, whatever, I don't know the rules. Magic and so on. So yeah, a lot of stuff. There's combos, how to backstab your friends and stuff like that. So I imagine this will be all fun and nice until it's no longer nice and you're going for each other. But you can see also in this picture, people are going around. I'm really excited about this. I really am. And I checked some videos of people who played. For example, here the preparation phase. Take the top card from your deck, and then you can acquire resources, use camp upgrades, rearrange character upgrades, use a trade station, buy battle cards, destroy a battle card, get a new objective card, because also it kind of limits luck a little, mitigates luck a little bit, because you're deck building. You want to have a good deck. So here you can say you look at the top 2 cards and choose one, but then you can add stuff. You can pay additional to look at more cards, and then it increases the chance of you getting a good deck and so on. So travel, battle, asking for permission. So that's the influence phase. You travel, you battle, you ask permission to pass, local mine, trade station, upgrades, and so on. You know, so to me this looks amazing. Okay, but yeah, I'm backing way too much at the moment. But this one for sure, I can see it here that I already backed it. There's a lot of videos here, Dutch as well. So yeah, and then of course the shipping, China, Hong Kong. Luckily, for me, is good. Not the best, because that's the Netherlands, so I'm guessing it comes from the Netherlands. Actually, Germany is even cheaper, so maybe Germany, that's where it comes from. So 8 to 14, yeah. So it does ramp up as it gets a little bit bigger. Yeah. All right, so table of planning and so on, la la la. And this whole time that I've been talking, has there been any change to here? Oh yeah, this is in Hong Kong dollars. They want 22,000 euros. They have 10,600 now. So they're already almost halfway and still 28 days to go. Okay, next one is Levitating Dice sets. Okay, I think this is awesome, but it's also completely unnecessary. Basically, this is just a box, and your die is on top of the box, and it just levitates. And then when you want to roll, you take it off, you roll it, you finish, put it back, and it's levitating. There's 4 different ones. You can see it here. You know, help, just take the die, and then roll it, and then later on you put it back. That's it. I mean, at my school, they also have levitating stuff that they did, and it's just cool. But you can see here the Holy Hand Grenade, or your own customizable nameplate. So, okay. It would be very sad if you roll the Holy Hand Grenade and you roll a 1. But anyway, so there's different designs. You have the Rainbow Touched. Wow. You have the Quintessential Red. You have the, I can't even read this one, Asinian Brass. Asinian I can read. The beginning is a bit more difficult to read. The Warblade. I have a message. Not really necessary. Comparison die size, what it looks like, and so on. Yeah, so stuff like that. Different bases you can go for, and you can see it is technology behind it. You can check it out and so on. But it just, I mean, to me, is super fancy, right? Am I gonna get it? No, because I have a small table. I'm not going to be able to use it anyway. But it just looks cool. What's the shipping like? I saw shipping, but I didn't see any numbers. Is it here? Ah, here. USA, cheapest in the world, a little bit more expensive. But, you know, it doesn't go up that much with more bases. So, yeah, I think this is awesome. And it's already done, right? It's already fulfilled. It's not fulfilled, obviously, but it already reached its goal. They wanted $10,000, they already have $45,000. It's great. It's actually crazy because I don't think it's that difficult to make. I mean, they made it at my school, but... All right, then this one I'm super hyped about. I think the most out of everything is Mercurial. It looks amazing. So it says here, exert control over chaos with elemental dice as you craft spells and perform heroics in this solo competitive game for 1 to 4 players. Now it says 45 to 60 minutes. And basically you're going to be, it's dice that you have, and you're crafting spells, and then you're completing these tasks. Just look at how beautiful, look at these dice, they look so good. Look at this art, it's just amazing. And look at these dice. You have got my heart already, and I haven't even played it. So you choose a class, there are different classes that you can do it for. You can learn the spells, then the skills, but that's basically what you're trying to collect, because you can alter your dice and then use the spell. And then you can see here where you can craft and combine everything, and then also perform heroic deeds. Basically, you're trying to complete those cards. Now, this kind of stuff, I feel like we've already seen before in a lot of stuff. You know, this is what everybody's going for. But then this will also all increase your mastery. This probably makes it easier to complete things. If I'm being super honest, I don't think mechanically there's a lot of crazy new stuff, but it just looks amazing, right? What makes it special? Control luck with skill through thematic gameplay. Okay, so the fact that you can alter your dice is really good. During gameplay, you'll constantly be challenged to consider the many options of manipulating your elemental dice because of all this, I guess. Luck plays a part, but skill matters much more. Okay, cool. Okay, so here you see an example of them combining and creating spells. But I even say here that you need to be careful which ones to combine, because sometimes it will actually fail if there's the wrong kinds. But also if it's really, so it's the correct right balance, then you have equilibrium, which results in a spell combination greater than the sum of its parts. So I guess parts. So you can see there's a lot of different things here. Yeah, it looks amazing. I'm gonna have to check some more gameplay videos and so on. But at this point, yeah, it looks really, really good. The standard edition here already looks amazing. I just keep repeating myself. But then the deluxe edition has the sleeve, which I'm meh about sleeve. But you have metal coins there, and there's this challenger expansion, which basically gives you solo mode, because you can face off alone or with other players against 1 to 2 automated opponents. So basically, just like the previous game that I talked about, it opens up the game even if it's just you alone or some 2 people. So solo mode is already in the base game, by the way, but this just expands on it. Okay, so basic dice manipulation seems to be the focus. So I do think it does some new stuff. I'm wrong about that. Yeah, at the moment I have the Trailblazer pledge, which is all of this. I might go down, I might not go down, but definitely check this out because it all looks... Okay, it looks like they talked to my wife or something and they knew exactly what I wanted in the game, which is pretty graphics and dice. And of course these these kind of crystals and everything, it's just all bling bling, right? But anyway, so shipping wise, I think I was happy about that too. China, Macau, pretty, and Hong Kong pretty low, so it's fine for me. Yeah, those are different prices. I did ask if his previous game is available. I don't have an answer to on that yet, because he also created this one, which is Endogenesis Beyond, which really interested me, but I couldn't back it back then. And now in his web store, there's only available for shipping to the States. But you can see this one also looks pretty nice. Anyway, yeah. Okay, so next up is Village Pillage, the Robin Hood expansion. Rob from the rich and steal from the poor in a new expansion for Village Pillage, the Mensa select-winning game of risk and betrayal. So basically, everyone is trying to be Robin Hood, basically, and you're playing Village Pillage. What is this game about? Very simple. You have some cards in your hand, and everybody has, I think, 4 or something. I'm not even sure how many cards you have in your hand. You choose 2 cards, but you play them on the left and the right, okay? And they both go into effect. Everybody reveals, and then you will be getting stuff. You're trying to collect turnips, and then turnips will allow you to buy more cards or buy artifacts. If you have 3 artifacts, you win the game. So, but all these cards, they react differently. For example, if you have the Raider, they would steal 4 turnips, but it only works against these 2 type of cards. But it doesn't work against the wall, because the wall, this icon is not here. Now the wall, however, works really well against the Raider. It steals 1 turnip and allows to bank 1 turnip. If you bank a turnip, no one can steal it. But you have different cards with different effects. There have also been expansions already with different cards with different effects. So it just looks real fun. And you can say, oh, just random. Not really, because you're of course looking at how people are playing. If you have a lot of turnips, they're probably going to try to buy something, and then you're going to want to steal something, but then maybe they're playing a card because they expect you're going to try to steal, stuff like that. So there's some strategy there. So yeah, it looks cool. I mean, I thought in the beginning it was just a card game, but this one I'm actually really thinking about getting it. For example, here, $35 for all the expansions, Surf and Turf expansions, Robin Hood expansion. It's basically all the village expansions. Or if you even go all in, it's the full turnip. So that's the Village Pillage and then all the expansions all together, which is what I'm thinking about because I've never played before, and I like to have everything. So yeah, if this one you even get the wooden turnips and a metal chicken coin. A metal chicken coin. Here you go. Check it out. I think this is something that you can just take out and say, okay, we still have a half an hour, 20 minutes. Okay, let's just play something real quick. It's like a filler. Okay. So yeah, that's it. And how far along is it actually at the moment? It has already passed its goal, $15,500, and it needed 10,000 and still has 22 days to go. So that's really good. Next up, there's the Okko Chronicles, Cycle of Earth. So I really like Okko. I like the art style. I like everything about it. I used to have comics, no longer, because I moved from Belgium to Hong Kong and now I have no room for comics. But I really liked it back then. And this game is basically Okko and his companions facing the army of Karasu. Now, as usual, it's a 1 to 5 player game, 60 to 120 minutes. And as usual, it looks really good. Like the miniatures look good, the locations and everything. It looks very nice. Now, I'm not going to get it, but I'll get to that really quickly. But it says here, you manage your character, cooperate with other players, which is normal. You protect your stronghold from the undead. There's objectives to do. There's a black tiger, which is basically a ninja that has come back from the dead. So it can be played by a player in a classic mode or managed by the game in a full cooperative mode, solo mode. So if you like Okko, you like the style, these games, they always look pretty good. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. Now for me, I was like, this is really cool. There's a lot of miniatures as well. But then of course I immediately checked the shipping, and in this case the shipping for me is horrible because it's rest of the world. So it's 45 euros just for Karasu, and if you add anything else it's even more. And the basic pledge is 85, so it's more than half shipping, and that's where I immediately draw the line. So yeah, anyway, if that's something for you, check it out. Next is Bossa. Now Bossa, I'm gonna reload it, see if anything has changed. That has just launched. I think it has 20 days to go. It has almost reached its funding already. They wanted to have yen, I guess 200,000 yen. They have 154,000 already. It's kind of a cool game because it's also a quick game. It looks nice, and yeah. So basically you're trying to connect the dots, right? There's a lot of different pledges here. So what you're doing here, I want to show a picture of the actual game. So how does this play exactly? So you have two dice here. You have a die with black pips and a die with white pips. You'll be rolling them, okay? And whoever has the highest number, they get to choose whether they start the game or they choose the color line. So the color line is the line in front of you. Will it be a white line? That means the white dots matter. Or will it be a black line? The black dots matter. So for example, the one that you see here in front of you, sorry, you have 4 white pips. That's normal. Then you have a 6. Now it's not a 6 because this is a white line. So it's only 3 white pips. And then you can see next to it, there's 2, and then next to it, there's 1. So it has to either ascend, go down, or go up. So for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, same thing here, but the black 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And there's an extra rule. The extra rule is that once you place a tile down, for example, next to the die, you can place 1 or 2, but then next to that 1, it has to be 1 higher or 1 lower. So there's only 1 tile. You can't go lower because it's 0. So you need to have 2 tiles. Then after those 2 tiles, you can once again choose 1 or 3 tiles. So that's what you can place on your turn, because you will start the game with 4 tiles that you can look at and then decide whether you want to have which color line or whatever. So the game will end when somebody has been able to play all their tiles and they're done. Okay. The game will end when their colored line is completely full. That's also good. The game will end if a player can no longer play their actions, then the other player wins. I think those are the ways that you can win. You can see 5 to 10 minutes goes very quick. It looks very nice because you have different versions. Let me see the different versions. You have the standard one, which is very basic. You have the classic one, which looks nicer, and then the Art Mizu and the Art Hana, which has 9 layers. So you can see it here. Yeah, so here 9 layers of colors and 9 layers of colors. Now these are a lot more expensive. I back that for now. I'll probably go down, to be honest, but at the moment I really like the way it seems to play. Because I forgot to say, you also have 3 actions. Where are they? Here, the 3 action markers, which means that you can, this one, the middle one, means that you can swap. You'll take one of your 4 tiles and swap it with the other person. One on the right means that you can stack, which means you can put 2 tiles on top of other tiles, or not 2, but just any tile on top of another tile, as long as the value is the same of the tiles there. And then the other one means that I think you can put one next to the draw pile and take a new one. Yeah, but once you've used the action, you flip it over. Anyway, that is Bossa. I think it looks really cool. The special versions are quite expensive though, so I don't know if I'll actually do that. Shipping is 1,800 yen for everybody. Other countries, if you live in Japan, it's only 220. If you go for the more expensive version, it's 1,500. Because the expensive version comes in, apparently it's handcrafted, and also it comes in a special box like this, but it's not final. All right, let's continue. Next one is Casting Shadows. Now this one is crazy. It already has, it's going up here right now, 5 million, but it keeps going up. Yeah, 5.8 Hong Kong dollars. So it says 750,000 US out of 100,000. Now these are the same People that gave you Unstable Unicorns and Here to Slay. Never played those games, but love the art. This one seems to be more up my alley. Because here you're going to, it's a 2 to 4 player turn-based competitive strategic board game. You're going to collect resources, learn spells, summon a companion, and if it's possible, unlock your shadow form, all to become the shadow caster. So the last player standing wins. So you can see here 4 players can go up to 6 with the expansion. It looks really nice, and you can even go full tilt and get these vinyl miniatures to replace your standees. But more about that later. Let's just take a look at what they all look like here. Yeah, well, more about that now. Apparently the deluxe bundle you can see here is already really nice with the acrylic standees and everything in here, but then you can go even higher. Ultimate Collector Set, which has the vinyl figure set. Now I love vinyl figurines, that's why I have this here, but you see I've already backed a bunch. There's no way I'm going to keep everything. Like, I can be backing 20 different campaigns and then cut down to 2 eventually. So it could be that I keep this, it could be that it's gone next week. So for now, I'm in there together with 1,544 backers, but yeah. So how does it work exactly? Custom dice and everything, it's really nice. I always feel like they put the how to plays way too low. So basically you're going to travel to different locations. You've already seen that, right? You have the characters that are different from everybody. Double-sided player board, because you can flip it over when you have your shadow form. You have the different, you can see here the shadow forms from everybody, yeah. All right, and then expansion pack offers new people. You have the different locations here. It gives you advantages for healing, but also resources. Here you see the resources. And you're going to roll the 5 dice to determine which resources you have at your disposal. Now, you have gems, orbs, shadow fragments, and cursed crystals. Of course, that can be a little bit annoying, possibly, if you roll really badly and somebody else keeps rolling really well. But I'm hoping that you can mitigate that. You have spells here, and you also say how it works. You can see the hexes and everything. Counter spells to use against them, companions. Yeah, and just, I don't know. I'm gonna do some more research for sure on this, but for now I'm really intrigued. Shipping here in general seems to be very kind, as long as you don't live in the UK. Wow, the UK is really expensive actually. I did not expect to see that. UK and South America and Southeast Asia, there's quite, well, no, that's Ultimate Collector Set. What am I looking at? So the basic ones, the price is okay actually. Some are a bit more expensive. A bit strange for Southeast Asia. 13, 15, 20, and then it jumps to 58, while everything else doesn't jump as high. Yeah, that's very strange. Okay, I don't think I'll be getting that Ultimate Collector Set after all. Okay, so next up is Jurassic World: The Legacy of Isla Nublar. I'm probably saying that wrong, but it doesn't matter. It's by Prospero Hall. They've done a lot of different games. We'll get to that later. Actually, I can just do that right now. Prospero Hall. They did Cairo, which I really like. Let's see, games. They have so many different games. Okay, here. These are all the games. So, The Goonies, Rocketeer, Back to the Future, Disney, Marvel Battle World, Tokyo Clash here, Godzilla, Lost Defense, don't know that one. Funkoverse as well, but here you can see the Villainous series that they have, Horrified as well, Shining, Jurassic Park even more, Kiro, very good 2-player game, check it out. Bob Ross, Art of Chill, what is this one? Donner Dinner Party. So they have a lot. They have a lot of experience. And they decided to make a legacy game of Jurassic World, which spans over all the movies. Starts actually with a dream, then the full-fledged idea, and then the first movie. And it's a legacy, and even if you don't manage to complete the scenario, it just keeps going. Okay, you don't have to restart or whatever. In the playthrough, somebody asked, what if you fail 4 in a row? You always get a negative effect, and then you have a lot of negative effects. You just keep going. So 1 to 4 players, 90 to 120 minutes. And there's always a bunch of problems you have to deal with, because not only can you fail if you don't get the objectives, but you can also fail because the dinosaurs kill you, for example. Dinosaurs come in various strength, multiple dice to roll, and so on. It says here build, manage, and create. So you can unlock dinosaurs, but of course there could be mutations that can attack you and so on. Yeah, so there's a box sleeve, game box. There's a lot of stuff here. There are different legacy booklets, the guides, the characters that you will remember and recognize from the movies. The different dinosaurs, and this campaign actually had a big problem in the beginning because it just had the game and nothing else, and the only thing different from retail was the sleeve, Kickstarter exclusive. Everything else was just the same that you would buy in the store. So people started rioting, but then immediately they said, okay, we get it, we made a mistake, we are now going to change things around. I'll show you more about that in a second. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here. If you like Jurassic Park and you like legacy games, check this out, because there's a lot of scratching off your new powers and everything, and revealing stuff, new rules, and so on. They also speak about why the art and design is like that, if you want to know more about why they chose this type of art. 8 additional dinosaurs you will discover. All right, this is the T-Rex. Some people complained, I want to see actual dinosaurs. Other people said this is way better. Up to you. So you can see reveal around cards, scout sectors to check if there are any characters there, take actions that you can do, activate dinosaurs and see what they do, because they might wander, they might hunt, they might ambush. So yeah, a lot of stuff can happen. All right, so shipping is here. Some are extremely expensive, some are quite cheap, depending on where you live. All right. Okay, and then what I wanted to talk about is in the updates. You can see it here. We're listening. KS exclusives coming soon, because people were complaining about it, right? But there's a caveat. They say they don't want to increase the cost of your pledge or the shipping price. They don't want to do anything that will delay the fulfillment, and they don't want to add undeveloped game content or anything that would feel tacked on, because they still want to deliver this year. We do want anything exclusive to be finalized and announced during the campaign, so you know what you're pledging for. Now, these are definitely hurdles to jump over, so I have no idea what it will be, but check the campaign if you want to know what. Next up is Fire for Light. Basically a very cold world, and the fire is burning, but you need resources to survive. So you go out in the cold and fight monsters potentially, or want to avoid it just to get resources and get back before you die. That's a very short way of describing it, because there's a lot of stuff that's going on in this game, and it has a ton of expansions, but we'll get to that in a second. So this is what it looks like. You have the outdoors, then you have your characters there at the bottom that you'll be using, and your character boards, of course. It says here, according to Ryan Schoon from Man vs. Meeple, is its accessibility. It is a light rules teach. I've noticed that as well from several videos that I've checked. Even when you're fighting monsters, it's quite easy to determine what's going to happen. Not a lot of upkeep, seems like. So you play the role of an explorer in service to the village of Summer's End, and you'll move and explore through the map, scavenge for weapons, or make difficult choices, like I said. But you can see here at the top of the fire, the day will keep going on. And at one point when it becomes night, it becomes super dangerous. And there was a question, has anyone ever survived the night? No. So people tend to die always when the night is too long, basically, and that is kind of like a timer. So you'll find some enemies that you have to shove or fight. But there's also a storybook, so there is a campaign, basically. It says at least 15 games that you'll be doing. There's chapter to chapter using the chapter summary. These are some of the things that you can find. Craft, I guess. Yeah, design their supply. Yeah, there you go. So there are different things that you can do. It also has some miniatures, which I'm a bit surprised by, because the art and everything, I thought it would be simpler, but then I guess we'll see it later. Here's a core game, right? This is just all basic stuff. Secret packages, because it's a legacy. Well, legacy, it's a campaign, right? A lot of secret packages of stuff that might happen. Looks very cool. And then here we have the miniatures. So many miniatures. Also a lot of work in progresses, but you know, I didn't expect it, to be honest, because I thought it would just keep it simple. There's also Summer's End Roll and Write that comes with it. Why back now? First access good price, usual stuff. But then the pledge level surprised me. Like the Explorer pledge, you have this one, which comes with a Elder's Gift here, exclusive. But then you go down and there's more here. The Redwater Depths expansion. It's not a different game. It's an expansion. Legion's Landing expansion. And then here, even more stuff. I mean, this is the miniature pack. But then here, there's even more. It's accessory pack, Summer's End, Gather Right, the Roll and Write, the art book. So much stuff. Titan Pledge, which to me was a bit surprising because, I mean, it looks really cool. It looks really cool. But when I first saw the top of the page, I thought this is just going to be one of those basic starting Kickstarter games. But then it has so much stuff that's added. So if you like this idea, definitely check it out. Because you can see here the tower as well. That was not that's not shown that well in the previous pictures. But yeah, shipping. They don't really say how much. We will notify you through an update on the exact date that we close the pledge manager, but that's not it. It just says watch out because shipping here can change. This is what they've calculated so far, okay, and the different pledges. So for me that would be rest of world, which is, I guess so, isn't it? I guess, I don't know. Yeah, sure. Yeah, and so far, how are they doing? They have 20,000 out of 100,000, and it's Greenbrier Games, so they've created quite a bit popular games, if I'm not mistaken. No, Lost Ones, Retro Reboot, Folklore, The Affliction, is a popular one. Barbaria, I know that one. Don't know this one. Folklore again. Champions of Hara, I own. Very, very good game. If you can get it, check it out for sure. Aegis, I've heard of that too. Yeah, so they do have a good reputation. Ninja Dice, I know that too. Alright, let's continue. Tidal Blades 2. Now you can see it's going to go up because it's going to refresh because I haven't checked to see. Okay, almost 3,600 backers. 16 days to go. It just launched a couple of days ago. Yeah, it's part 2. Now, I had part 1 and I sold it. And I'm really happy because these are standalone. You do not need the first one, from what I've said. It's just 2 standalone games. So it's the same world, right? The same people as well. You can see them here, right? They're still there, but even the same people still have new miniatures. So I'm kind of happy I got rid of the first one because I wasn't crazy about it. But I am interested in this one though, because it's more of a campaign. You have, so number 1 here is Rise of the Enfolders, which is a cooperative narratively rich board game. 21 of scenarios or 40 hours of gameplay. I think I'll enjoy that more than the previous game. And then the role-playing game, which I am not interested in. I don't do RPGs, so yeah, not interested in that one. And also you don't need this book to play the board game, of course. So you can put it all together, right? So what you do, you choose your hero. You have the same 5 heroes again. You embark on missions. You fight in a different special way. You can see here when it goes into columns and rows and everything. You're activating that. You're exploring the city, which of course is a lot of narration as well. Interact with NPCs, dynamic progression. Everybody has their own little booklet, so that's cool as well. Getting the skills. And yeah, so you can see here what we just talked about. Basically, also the different action cards and so on. 60 unique pages in the map book, right? So there's 3 different books. Yeah, and it's going to look awesome because the art is on point. And it's just full of secrets to explore. So yeah, cool. Very excited about this one. I mean, average excited about this one, let's put it like that. Because the previous game still lingers a little bit. The miniature set as well looks nice. There's going to be a bunch of enemies there. Miniatures were really good in the first one, so I expect them to be as good in the second one as well. And then I want to also show, this is apparently exclusive as well, an oversized boss. Okay, cool, and then there's more stuff coming. Or the RPG, and there's a lot of videos, as you can see, to check. So the role-playing game apparently is easy to learn for beginners, has all the lore, the bestiary, yeah. So give it a check if you want to, if you're interested. Let's see, the shipping, always important. Shipping, different pledges as well. So you have the PDF book, just $25 for the book. If it just print though. Yeah, it's a bit pricey for just the print. Okay, standard game, 89, the upgraded game, the deluxe game, and the RPG book. Yeah, so on add-ons you have a desk mat. Okay, not just a game mat, just a desk mat. Art prints, core book. Yeah, and then even more if you're a DM. Okay, so shipping here, I think has everything. There we go. Take a look at that. And then here as well. And then we're gonna move on to the next one, which is Ryozen. So this is the new one from Tabula Games. 1 to 4 player worker placement, and what's different is a layered board, but it rotates the middle part anyway. The pagoda in the middle rotates 45 to 90 minutes. And basically what you're going to be doing is you have a lot of different game modes. You have the solo expansion modes here, the Phoenix Palace alternative mode, and the Ryozen core mode. But basically what you're going to be doing is let me see. Let me show you in a second here. There's a lot. You're going to be placing tiles. You're going to be building village tiles and so on. I watched the video twice, but it wasn't super duper clear. I have to say. They just said they changed the palace so it's easier to store. You can see here. That's nice. And how to build it. Okay. So you're going to be exploring lands to get resources and so on. You can also have loyal members, but I know you can flip these and then place them in a different area. So when the nighttime comes, it scores area control points, and then you get extra bonuses for that. And you can use all your resources. There's also event cards. There are revelations. You can like meditate and get these special powerful cards. And then also the palace will turn, and that will have effects as well, because you can see the gray here, right? That also has an effect everywhere. Yeah, so it looks interesting. At the moment I backed it because I like Tabula games in general, but I'm gonna, the solo mode will have to be unlocked, and I'm gonna do some more checks on this one. I backed it mostly just to keep updated. Yeah, because visually it's cool, but I'm not sure about the gameplay yet, to be honest. And all this is something else that will come out. So yeah, let's take a look at the shipping. A lot of review here, you can see a lot of reviews. You can see it here. So the sectors. Oh wait. Mechanics. Okay, here. So you put in the best slots to build your strategy, but you can see here this one is flipped over, so that means this one will activate in nighttime. These other ones will activate during the daytime, and they will give you stuff that's on the tile. You can see influence on the right side, left one is ability. All right, and that will also change the player order. You want to have sets as well. You can see here +1, +2, depending on how many you have. And exploit the palace rotation to access even more sectors besides the one hosting your kin. So you can see it has certain effects on certain things. You have the gates, the capital. This makes me think more about Yidu, that every different area you go to will have different effects. The rim, where you can build new villages. The shrine, where you can collect their special benefits. The springs, where you can meditate and get those cards. And then the clan house, where you can hire or get new people with extraordinary abilities. And the Phoenix Palace itself, where you can smash your opponents with unexpected tactics. Okay, shipping costs is here. we have all the things and then the prices that go along with it. Okay. All right. Let's do the next one. Okay, so the next one is Ares Expedition, Discovery, Foundations, and Crisis. These are 3 expansions for Ares Expedition Terraforming Mars. Okay, so you can see they already have $411,000. They wanted $20,000. What do these 3 expansions add? Now, Discovery is awards, milestones, and more. So this gives you more of the same, right? Crisis is full co-op. So in Crisis, there's crises happening on Mars, and you as a team have to try and stop it. So every round there's a new crisis, you have to try to handle it. And then Foundations just give you more stuff, but also you can play with to 5 and 6 people. All right. So there's also a bigger box now that can have the base game and all 3 expansions as well. You can see everything that's in here, more stuff, like I said. Crisis gives you a lot of crises here that you then have to deal with, the tokens and everything. And then here, Expedition gives you more player boards because you can play with 5 to 6 people. All right. A lot of previews here, a lot of unlocks as well. Pledge levels. You can even get the previous Kickstarter bonuses that you missed out on, maybe if you just bought the base game on Amazon like I did. Okay. So, yeah. You can see expansion custom sleeves, resource cubes, crisis accessory pack, which is what I did because otherwise, no, that's not this one. Where is it here? Blah, blah, blah. Here, the chaos promo cards that I missed out on, neoprene, all the stuff. So let's take a look at shipping. Yeah, so not that good for me actually this time. It's just average. So, but yeah, so that's it. Let's go to the next one. We have a couple more. Island Alone. Now this is a unique survival roll and write game, which is also quite cheap because it's just €7 to get it. Print and play. So this one is a unique sandbox game. So you have multiple different sheets, but you're basically on an island alone, like Robinson Crusoe, and you're trying to survive, and it's a roll and write. Okay. So it says here, it's easy to pick up, teach, and gives you that Crusoe vibe without the 15-minute setup. And it's 1 to 4 people as well, if I'm not mistaken. 1 to 4 players, yeah, there you go. So a great simple filler that can be played with just about anyone. Good gateway as well. So you roll 4 dice, you use it to do the actions, find food and water, explore resources, complete special tasks, craft objects, and check food and water levels. So you can play solo as well. Even up to 4 players. Okay. What else did I want to mention? So solo player set, multiplayer set scenarios. Yeah, that's very important. And additional unlocked maps. And full color and low ink as well. Very good. So yeah, all that is really nice. And shipping doesn't matter because this is only just print and play. And here you have the different adventures as well. The Secret of Storm Island. The Search for Captain Smith, and the Curse of the Golden Raven. Okay, and here's a full playthrough that you can check as well of other people here as well. All right, so let's continue with Dragonquest, which is basically the dice game version of the original Dragonquest. The reason why I'm backing it is because it's a dice game. But also it is a lot shorter. So let's see, 19 minutes, still quite. No, that's Armageddon. Sorry. Let's see, where's the time? Did I say the time? Because I thought it wasn't that long. 30 to 40 minutes. Yeah, 1 to 4 people. You play solo, and basically what you're doing is you're going through the dragon's lair. You start here, right? And then you roll the dice and do the actions. And of course, here's the horde, where you get the stuff, and then you try to get to the exit. But here is the time that you have, because if you end up at the skull and you didn't reach the exit, you die. So I think that's pretty cool. You have a lot of different custom dice that is in the game, that are in the game as well. I watched some videos to see what it's all about. It's just pretty cool. You have the black movement dice, you have the red movement die, you have treasure chambers ones, the blue battle dice, so many different things, the treasure chambers, because you try to get treasure, but then if you spend too much time, you might not reach it, right? You have some enemies that you might encounter as well. Not interested in Armageddon for me, so yeah, this is the shipping. Now, China here, luckily for me, I guess. Yeah, okay, so that's it basically. Basically, push your luck, roll dice game. You do also have Armageddon. I should say something about it. Post-apocalyptic world where you rebuild society. But I have enough of those games already, so not for me. Then we go to Gamefound, where the Great Wall will have a reprint. It's a preview. It's not out yet, but the Great Wall, I passed on it when it was on Kickstarter, I think. Or was it also Gamefound? I think Gamefound. I passed on it, and then I had to see all my friends enjoy it, and it's so awesome, and la la la, and so on. I got so many awards, high BGG score, so I'm definitely gonna back it this time. Also because there's a good solo mode. Yeah, so also really good miniatures apparently. So yeah, just check it out if you haven't checked it out yet. The solo play that it provides in Great Wall is worth checking out as well. Yeah, it's not active yet. You can follow it. And then yeah. Next up is Bedeville Carnival, or Bedeville. It's basically it's a carnival with 5. It's also not active yet, with 5 style. I should say like Halloween kind of creatures, and you're trying to collect all these souvenirs to basically become the best, I guess. Yeah, so you can see here, this is what it looked like. You'll be jumping around, doing actions and everything, 45 minutes. It looks interesting, so I'll be curious to see what the campaign eventually will be like. It's Bedeville or Bedeville Carnival. And then we have Euthia, Torment of Resurrection and Fierce Powers. I love this game. I love Euthia. I'm crazy about Euthia. I played it a lot of times already. I made videos about it where I totally messed up the rules. But then I did make videos where I got the rules better, at least. And now I'm using them flawlessly. But yeah, this expansion gives you more of the same. And the new hero, more monsters, more settlements, more NPCs, more scenarios. So yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on it. Also hasn't started yet. It's in 39 days. Yeah, and this is painted here, very nice of that person. I haven't painted mine yet, but yeah, just check it out. Really, really good game. You can see the different pictures here, what the game looks like. Yeah, or just check my video. This is the guy I played with yesterday, actually, just yesterday. Droll. So this is the end of this part. So now I'm going to tell you what I've currently backed and I'm still looking at, and I'm very positive about. And I'll tell you if it's going to, oh, I'll tell you how much I like it and if I'm going to keep it or not. Okay, so here we go. Tamashii, I still have it, 12 days left. I still like it a lot, still very interested in it. So for now, it's still very high, also with all the unlocks that are very interesting. So yeah, at the moment, I'm still going for this just because it's so special, the coding and everything and the activation. And it's just Awakened Realms, right? So Awakened Realms, they deliver when they produce. So very excited about this one. This is one that stays for now. Earth Under Siege. Now at this point, there's only 20 hours to go. That's still correct, yeah. And they did the all-in, and it looks amazing. This one stays for sure. I went all in the Extinction Pledge. I can't wait to get this. I don't have a game like this, and there's been a lot of games like this in the past, similar like Spacey and so on, and covert operatives and so on. But yeah, also all the stuff they've unlocked. I'm really excited about this one. This is 100% sure. You will see an unboxing and a playthrough of this eventually when it comes out. Okay. Then I have Illiterati. Also will definitely stay. Only 32 hours to go. It stays because it's quite cheap. It's cheap. It's original. It looks nice. I think it'll be cool. All right. I talked about this before. So I'm not going to do it. I'm just telling you what I'm backing very quickly. Then League of Dungeoneers, still on the fence because it's also quite pricey, you know, in euros. They've added a bunch of stuff, which is nice, but I'm gonna have to choose between this and another one that's on the way. I'll tell you this in a minute. Also, this is 7 days to go, so it's still this month, which also has an impact. This one is the second one, Solar 175. This one and the previous one. This one is what I'm thinking about which one I should get or not, because this one looks cool as well, but they're both of the pricier ones that I've been backing, because this only says 84, but then with the add-ons it's even more. So yeah, still on the fence between these two. Then I have Malia, Lands of Legends. This one is currently still very much in because it's next month. But then next month we'll also have to battle against the ones that I was just very positive about in the Kickstarter run-through. So the big question is then going to be, is it going to survive? Because it's also 140 euros, which of course you feel stuff like that, you know. But they've unlocked a bunch of stuff as well. Still looks very interesting. I'm going to have to really deep dive on all this stuff. Yeah. Next one is Habitats, 9 Lives and Basket Boss. Also not cheap, because I added all the cool bits and everything. It's also next month, so I would say this one is at 50% because of everything that's come out. That's also next month, so I'm not sure. I'm unsure about this. Then we have Rad Zone Totality. I think I'll be keeping this because it's quite cheap. It's just £10. So it's a roll and write, print and play, where you are in a post-nuclear world, right, trying to survive. And I want to try some more print and plays, you know, and just see what it's like. Do I like it or not? Give it a shot. And then, yeah. And they've unlocked a bunch of stuff as well, which is good. Because so he wanted to have £1,000. He got almost, and he has £4,000 now. And then we have Pathways, also next month, but I still like this though. And it's also, is it expensive? It's not that expensive. Yeah, only 430 Hong Kong dollars. So I think this one might be a keeper, because I don't have something like this either. It's pretty unique, and unique games tend to get a place in my collection. And then Wundichi, they've collected a lot of money already. They wanted 6,500 euros. They have now 120,000 euros. But I really want a solo mode. And I did the coach pack early bird, which is okay, right? But then I added a bunch of stuff, so actually I backed for more. But the solo mode is not going to come. And they basically said, well, maybe we'll do it afterwards. I can always just play as 2 players, but then I don't know. And also, do I know a lot of people who are into football and play board games? Not really. So I don't know. They've unlocked a bunch of stuff, as you can see here, right? Go reached. Yeah, part of me still hopes that they will do it, but we'll see. Okay, I have backed more games, but then the games that I've backed are the ones that were in the collection that I've gone over before now, right? So next time when I do a Kickstarter overview, I'll also get back to you about which ones that I might keep next month, okay? Because the ones that I talked about now, some of these like Undici and Pathways and so on, all the way up to Malia, those I don't have to make decisions because it's next month. I do it month by month because I have my budget. So yeah. Okay, but this was the Kickstarter overview. Thank you very much for watching. It was an hour again, but at least you can choose which ones you want to hear about, right? My name was Joachim. I will still be tomorrow. Have a very nice day, and I'll see you next time. So many games for the time. Bye-bye.